Hello and welcome to this hip opening class to help you release the tension in your jaw. I invite you to find a nice comfortable position seated in the middle of your mat. Feel free to grab hold of any props you might need, perhaps elevate your sit bones on a cushion here just to really find a nice soft but straight spine. Open up your chest, expand your lungs, and start breathing in deeply in your side lungs into your belly here. Just take a moment to arrive, be present. And perhaps on the out breath, start noticing your jaw. And I invite you to release your jaw and open your mouth gently whenever you breathe out. Breathing in through the nose. And breathing out through the mouth, gently opening the mouth. Just noticing that motion of your jaw as it goes with the inhale and the exhale a few more times. No need to strain the jaw, just gently opening the mouth as much as is comfortable for you. A few more times in your own time. And today, we're going to work on the fascia line, the deep connection, the connection that connects the hips and the jaw by this deep tissue line that you have in your body that's connecting so many parts of you that somehow remain invisible to the outside eye. And yet, if you tend to hold a lot of tension in your hips, it often translates into tension in your jaw. So if you subconsciously clench your pelvic floor, which we so often do because of trauma and stress and anxiety, the jaw is a symptom of that as well. So today we're going to work on the hips and on the pelvic floor to help you release that tension here. So before we begin, I just invite you to take your fingers here, whichever finger feels comfortable, and just find your TMJ joint. So just in front of your ear here. And you can find it by opening and closing your mouth. And the joint that moves here is the joint that we want to unlock today a little bit. Maybe it sounds that it's a little bit creaky today. Maybe it's making noises for you or it's stuck. So we're going to be working on this connection, just opening and closing the mouth gently as we move, as we breathe. Perfect. Well done. Let's find our way to reclining. So I invite you to take your time to get onto your back here. No rush. And finding a nice stable position here, bending your knees in and softening your spine, spreading your shoulders on the mat, and just maintaining that beautiful natural curve in your lower back here. Feel free to place your hands on your hip bones here as we're going to be moving the pelvis and the hips. So we really want to feel that connection between the body and the mind here. It's so often stuck. And now, very slowly, we begin by tucking and untucking the pelvis. And if this is too difficult for you to imagine as a motion, I invite you to visualize as if you're trying to create this arch in your lower back to slide your hand through and then glue that lower back towards the mat. So how would that feel if your hips wanted to initiate this movement? The lower back gluing to the mat, and the core contracting, compressing, and on the out breath, just creating that beautiful arch here. And moving with the breath, starting to notice how this feels in your body, still keeping those hands on the hip bones here and feeling how they protrude and how they come back. Focusing on releasing any clench in the pelvic floor that you might be feeling as you let go and arch your back. And at the same time as you're arching your back, I invite you to gently open up your mouth on an exhale. And as you contract inwards and press your lower back into the lower mat, just breathe in through the nose and feel those glutes firing and your pelvic floor contracting as well. So we're going between that relaxation, opening the mouth, feeling that fascial line that's connecting the hips and the jaw, Relax and open. Breathing in and contracting inwards. Once again, using that mouth movement and the breath to also move with the hips here. Breathing in, gluing the lower back, squeezing the glutes in, feeling that pelvic floor come up and inward. And as you release, completely relax your glutes, let go. Exaggerate that arch here in your lower back. Gently open up your mouth. Feel free to vocalize your out breaths as well. Whatever feels good here to release any of that deep-seated tension. A few more times. Now that you're finding your own rhythm, can you move with the breath? Inhale, contract. Exhale, release. One last time, focusing on that relaxation at the end. Contract, bring the glutes and pelvic floor up and in. And breathe out through the mouth. Open up the mouth, release. Well done. Now you can bring your knees together here. And on the next exhale, the out breath again opens up your mouth very gently. And as you do so, your knees naturally fall out to the sides. And you notice how your pelvic floor is spreading and opening, completely yielding to the floor here. On the next in-breath through the nose, bring the knees in. Perhaps activate your glutes a little bit at the top of this position. Just squeeze them ever so slightly. Feel that pelvic floor working. And once again, as you breathe out, open mouth, just let your knees fall out to the side. Feel that relaxation in the pelvic floor. This is such a good pelvic floor workout that we're gonna do. Breathing in. Gentle contraction here of your glutes, your pelvic floor. Everything is contracting inward and upward, pulling it up. And releasing. Bringing your jaw into the picture. We're not just working on the pelvis, working on all the subconscious clenching here. Bringing it in. Feel that controlled clench that you're in control of right now. Feel perhaps how your jaw is responding in reaction to this. And as you let go, release, let your mouth open and jaw soften. 2 more times with your own breath. Up and in. Gentle squeeze. And complete release. The jaw relaxed, the mouth very slightly open, no need to pressure anything here. Now come back into center. Now I invite you to step out your toes to the sides so that only your heels are touching here. And now on the next in-breath, glue your lower back to the mat and start bringing up your pelvis up to the sky, clenching your glutes here. And your pelvic floor comes up with your pelvis as well, clenching all those muscles here. And slowly releasing back down, noticing that release in your whole lower and upper body. 2 more times, slowly up by starting to glue the lower back to the floor and squeezing everything up. Breathe out through the mouth, gently releasing. One last time. Come up, squeezing the glutes and the pelvic floor, clenched, controlled, and solid. Hold the breath. Come back down. Out breath through the mouth. Completely letting go, once again yielding to the floor here, feeling your body, feeling your pelvic floor release. Release any extra tension, muscles that you have there. Now shoot your hips up once again. And this time we stay here and start by making small pulses up and down, really activating that pelvic floor here. Feeling your glutes coming online, but mostly feeling what's happening inside of your pelvic floor. Squeezing all those muscles. Small, gentle pulses here, really feeling your lower body. Breathing through the mouth. Everything is soft and released. And on the last out breath, come down completely. Let your knees fall out to the side, the soles of your feet touch, and just release once again with your mouth gently open. And I invite you to now take your tongue and spread it on the roof of your mouth here, which is very gently relaxing the root of your tongue. Let your jaw be soft. Well done. And on that next in-breath, once again, come up with the heels together and the toes out into your bridge pose. And this time, on the next out breath, just drop the left knee to the side, keeping the right one where it is. Just opening that pelvic floor. Coming up to center, dropping the right knee. Coming back to center, and now joining the breath on the drop of the knee. Breathe out through the mouth, open the mouth gently. Breath in through the nose, come to center. Try to keep your hips elevated and up at all times. You're squeezing that pelvic floor in and up, feeling that contraction. Now drop your right knee, open the mouth gently. Bring it up, keep squeezing those glutes with the out breath. Really deep breaths here, vocalize as much as you need to. With one knee dropping, everything else stay static. One last time each side. Left knee drops. Bring it back. Right knee drops. Come back to center. Squeeze one more time as hard as you can here. Feel that pelvic floor. And gently release down into your butterfly. Completely yield to the ground and the mat. Release. Deep breaths here. Again, through the mouth, just gently allowing that jaw to open, to relax. Well done. I invite you now to spread out your legs and your arms in a sort of egg shape, like a star shape here. Just really allowing yourself to take up space. And at the same time, completely relaxing to the ground. And on the next in-breath, bring both your ankles inward towards one another. Feeling what's happening in your pelvic floor and perhaps also in your jaw. And on the next out breath, gently opening up the mouth as we did up until now and letting the ankles fall out to the side. Completely relax, spreading that pelvic floor here. Breathe in, ankles and toes pointing towards one another. And out, letting them drop out to the side. Bring in, everything contracting towards your center. Your knees, your toes, your pelvic floor. Clench and contract in a controlled way. And as you breathe out, let it go out to the side, completely releasing, perhaps even shaking off your lower body a little bit. Any tension, anything being released through these movements today in this class. 2 more times, bringing everything in. The toes point to one another. Breathe through the nose. Deep breath in through the mouth. Release everything to the side. Last time, bringing it in. Exhale out. Complete release here. Just take a moment to notice what's happening in your body. Once again, I invite you to take your tongue and spread it on the roof of your mouth. And at the same time, relaxing the root of your tongue. Letting that jaw be soft and relaxed. And on the next in-breath, gently roll over to your side. Come into your tabletop position here. And through your tabletop, find your deep squat position. So no matter how this looks for you, feel free to grab some cushions or books below your heels if they're elevated. So what we want to achieve here is a nice straight spine, so not hunching forward. So whatever it takes for you to have this beautiful spine here, perhaps having your hands in prayer pose with your elbows pushing against your knees here, and just looking forward ahead. And I invite you to gently sway here from side to side as you find your pose. Once again, see if you need to elevate your heels on anything just to feel supported. Maybe even find a wall to lean back against to have that support here. The point of this pose is to encourage that relaxation of the pelvic floor. This pose is so good for that. It allows the downward flow of energy and completely relaxes our lower body. So if you're struggling with hip tension, pelvic floor tension, and subconscious clenching, also in your jaw, this is such a beautiful pose to just rest in a few minutes every day. And before we end this class, I invite you to just take your fingers and gently feel that joint that we felt at the beginning of this class, and maybe even slide your fingers down below your cheekbones, giving yourself a nice and lovely jaw massage. Perhaps your thumbs are sliding at the bottom of your jaw here. Whatever feels good for your body right now. Coming in touch with the face, giving yourself the warmth of your own fingers, your body, and at the same time, allowing this energy in your pelvic floor to soften, to release. A few more moments here. Well done. I invite you to sit back. Again, find your nice, comfortable pose in the middle of your mat with your spine soft but straight. Just taking a moment to notice how your body feels right now, how your pelvic floor may be feeling a little bit more soft, a little bit more relaxed, and maybe how your jaw moves a little bit with more ease. I want to thank you for joining me in this class.